Fantasy season is here. The research is done. The mocks are over and the drafts are upon us. Don't draft Kyle Pitts. Don't do it! Whoever and however you draft doesn't matter. What matters is how you use fantasy to help you win in the card market. Today, we're going to break down the top picks and decide whether they're going up or down. Plus, Ethan is going to tell us what he's buying, and we're going to see what happened with the downward spiral of the great Panini. Hello, hobby. I am Daps, joined by my esteemed co-host, Johnny Flame, a.k.a. the great and powerful Ethan. Today, we're going to be doing a snake draft. Each of the first 3 rounds, Ethan and I are going to pick a player that we think's card price is going to go up. And we're also going to tell you which cards we think are going to go down. But first, the Ludex Weekly Loot Giveaway.
Guys, it is time to announce our winner of our weekly Ludex Loot Giveaway for this beautiful Malik Nabers Uptown. And the winner is Peter Lavuso.
Treviso.
Peter Treviso. Comment, like, subscribe. It raises your chance to win our weekly Ludex Loot Giveaway. We have beautiful cards every week, and we're waiting to give it to someone special.
All right, Ethan. Fantasy drafts are coming. Some of them are already here. We have projected mock first round, second round, third round. The way we're going to do this is you're going to pick a player in the first round. You get first pick who you think is going to go up the most in the card market. All right? Then I'm going to get a player in the first round. Then I get the second pick. All right? First pick in the second round. Snake draft style through 3 rounds. You got
17, of course.
Okay. Who are you taking first round? We got Chase, Bijan, Saquon, Justin Jefferson. You see the list. Which guy in the first round has the highest potential to go up?
So I've touched on Malik Nabers before. I think he's the only receiver there. I think he's the best player on this team. And of all 3 quarterbacks, they're all going to have tunnel vision and only pass him the ball. As a first-year guy, he was one of the best receivers in the league. I think the second year, he's not going to have a sophomore slump. He's actually going to make a jump to be a top 5 receiver in this league. But my pick in this round is still Puka Nakua. Puka Nakua is, if you look at his first 2 years, is one of the greatest receivers of all time. I mean, broke the rookie passing record. Second year, he was hurt throughout the year, but when he was there, he got the ball every time. Yes, they added Devontae Adams, but we've seen in the past that with Puka and Cooper, Puka still balls out.
He's a beast.
So I think that maybe not in a fantasy draft would I take him, but in the card market, you can get Puka for very cheap right now.
Wait, so are you taking Puka or Nabers?
I'm taking Puka.
You're taking Puka?
Yeah, because I think Nabers' prices are already high, but Puka's prices were super high, went down a lot, and is now at the point where you can buy him again.
Okay. I thought you were going Nabers, and I was jealous because I think I would have picked Nabers, and now it seems like I can pick Nabers. The only other player that I'm kind of bouncing back and forth with is Bijan. And listen, running backs don't do super well in the card market, right? Historically, not the greatest. But at the same time, I think from a fantasy perspective, everybody's been waiting for Bijan to have this breakout, insane season where he's the clear-cut number 1. He hasn't got that workload yet where he's like, you know, he's just the horse of the team, getting every single carry. I think that could happen this year. And the other thing that I think can happen is if Penix is the guy who I believe he can be, I think the Falcons win the division. I think Bijan's getting more carries in big moments. I think he's getting more coverage on television. I think he's scoring more fantasy points. All of these things lead to more eBay searches. All these things lead to more Bijan sales. So I'm going to go with Bijan over Malik Nabers, even though this people may not think this means a lot, but guys who play in New York and LA always command higher prices.
Yep.
Always command higher prices. Nabers is a beast. So he's going to have those New York fans who won his cards. Like you said, he's already kind of high. So I'm going to go with Bijan as my pick for the guy who has the biggest ceiling.
Well, if we're drafting 12 teams, I have a big problem with one player on this list. I don't understand how Ashton Genty could even be on this list. I mean, he was the worst pick for the Raiders could have taken. That team has nobody. Adding a running back to a shitty team isn't going to help at all. Also, you have
you don't like Pete Carroll. You don't like...
So I was going to get into that. Pete Carroll is a great defensive mind, but he's never ran a good offense in his whole career.
What about the time
Chip Kelly?
What about the time he threw on second and goal and he had Marshawn Lynch?
So we're taking it like Pete Carroll already can't coach an offense. Chip Kelly is going to run this guy right into his death. He's going to be running right into his offensive line the whole entire time. He'll average 2 yards a carry. Sure, he'll get 30 carries a game, but he's just not a good pick in fantasy. He's not a good pick as a player to invest in. It's not about him being talented. It's his situation.
Did this guy like fool around with your mom or something?
Dude,
like,
I want to see the Raiders be good, but the Raiders don't want to see the Raiders be good.
No, the Raiders don't want to be good ever, and they're in a really tough division. And I'm curious as to if you saw Genty, his whole college career, would stand up in the backfield, which is very untraditional, right?
Yeah.
There's more of a seated stance from the running back position. And now in training camp, he is taking this kind of seated position.
Yeah.
Week 1 or throughout the season, do you think he'll take any snaps stood up?
Oh, dude, after the first 3 weeks where he's probably the least efficient running back in the league, he'll stand up and be equally as inefficient.
Least efficient running back in the league. Listen, to be honest, I want to argue with you, but some of these guys, these fantasy quote-unquote experts, I don't know one guy who's actually a fantasy expert who like consistently has won even their league where, it's not Field Yates, it's not Adam Schefter, it's not Matthew Berry. Like everyone just proclaims they're these fantasy experts. I've never seen actual data to show anybody to me who's an expert, number one.
I understand why Genty is on the top of this list because of the volume. But people need to realize that running behind Colton Miller and a bunch of bums on a shitty offense with no quarterback won't get you anywhere.
Well, listen, Geno Smith and Pete Carroll seems to work for whatever reason. But again, division. Let's go on to the second round, which I get first picking, by the way, now.
Of course.
So now I'm stacked with Bijan. I got A-Chain and got BTJ, Derrick Henry. Ooh, this is not a great list.
Football is in a really bad fucking place. This is your second pick.
Yeah, this is like not... And I'm not necessarily saying from a fantasy perspective. I'm talking about from a card perspective. You know who I'm going to go with in this position? I'm going to go with Brock Bowers.
Sure.
Brock Bowers is this guy who he plays like a receiver. He's playing tight end. He's with Pete Carroll. I think Geno's going to sling the rock all season long because they're going to be losing games. He put up historic numbers in his rookie season, and I think that he has the opportunity to go up only because he's going to be high usage, and I think he can take over that Travis Kelce type tight end one situation for 5 years.
Dude, Brock is a beast. There's no argument with that. I actually, on the other hand, I wanted to take another tight end here. I wanted to take Trey McBride. I actually purchased his Prism Black 101 for $2,500 the other day. That is cheap. $2,500 won't get you a bench player nowadays. But I'm not taking a tight end because I don't like to invest in tight ends. Look at Travis Kelce, for example. The best tight end of all time doesn't sell for anything. So I'm going to take Drake London here. And I know you're not a fan, but Drake London was the first receiver taken in his draft, has been an elite receiver the past 3 years he's been in the league. He's a great route runner. He's a high point ball player. He's been dealing with these shitty quarterbacks for the past couple of years. Penix, maybe not the most polished quarterback, but has a cannon. And we'll throw some deep balls to Drake London when he gets there. I think he's just, if you eye test the talent, I know you look at A.J. Brown and CeeDee Lamb and all these other elite guys, but Drake London's in that category.
And I think for the same reason that I took Bijan, I'd have to also agree with you because if the Falcons do end up winning the division, Drake London's going to get a lot of looks. He's going to get a lot of catches. He's going to get a lot of touchdowns. He's going to have a playoff appearance, right? So now you're just on television more, which leads to more Drake London searches on eBay, which drives the card price
Think of
up.
Michael Penix dropping back and looking at Kyle Pitts or Drake London. You're throwing the ball to Drake London.
I hate Kyle Pitts, and I wasn't going to do this rant, but I'm going to do it.
We hate
all right.
Kyle Pitts. Yep.
Last season, I'm in the fantasy championship, $5K on the line. Second place gets $1K. Kyle Pitts, who scored 4 points the last 7 weeks in a row. 4 points! 4 points!
Tragic.
Falcons come back. They're down 7. Penix goes on this drive, ties the game at the last second on a touchdown pass to Pitts. I lost my fantasy playoff by 4.62 points.
Like, he is just the worst, most athletic player we've ever seen.
But also these fantasy quote-unquote experts they always have Kyle Pitts in like the top 7 tight ends. He's never been a top 7 tight end.
Dude, he's Eric Ebron. That's
He
all
can't
is.
keep getting away with this.
No, I know.
All right, it's third pick.
Everyone's going to say he's like 21 years old still. It doesn't matter how old you are. You just suck. My pick?
It's your pick, third pick.
We're going with a guy that I actually invest in. A guy who I have owned the best cards ever. I've owned his Prism Black, his Black Shimmer, his Black Stars, his NT Shield, and that's Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Oh, okay.
And JSN is elite. Remember, he comes from a locker room in Ohio State that had Marvin Harrison, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and they are on record in saying that JSN is the best out of all of them. I mean, I made a fucking fortune off JSN. No one even cared about him his rookie year, so I bought all of his cards, and then you see the talent. I mean, that guy just screams elite. And I know they got Cooper Kupp there, but Cooper Kupp's a washed old man. I don't believe in Sam Darnold, so it might be a little rocky, but I mean, the talent's there. He's so good, and I mean, he should be not only the best player on the team, but like the face of the team. That team has no one marketable on that team. I want to see JSN on the cover of all the Seahawks merch, all the Seahawks catalogs. He's the future of the league.
This is a really tough round, too, because you have big names in it, but like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, like I don't think there's a ton of money to be made on those guys unless you're throwing the dice.
Dude,
and
I know
you
who
end
your
up.
pick is. I know who your pick is.
I don't think you do.
Really?
I don't think you do. I know that you think I'm going to pick with my heart, but I can't because that's probably my second pick. To be honest, the guy I like the most on this list for buying a card right now with the highest upside is Ladd McConkey. It's Ladd McConkey, and it's Ladd McConkey because of what he did last season, because even with Keenan Allen coming back, which I think is great for Justin Herbert, I still think McConkey is the guy who's going to catch the most balls on the team. And I think Keenan Allen just makes sure that Ladd doesn't get doubled as often, right? And I think the Chargers, listen, Harbaugh definitely loves to run the ball, but I'm seeing McConkey get into the end zone consistently. I'm seeing the Chargers in a playoff spot. I'm seeing not a ton of white wide receivers in the league, and this could be the guy who is the next Cooper Kupp.
He's the white hope.
He's the wide receiver hope. So because of that, I think that you're going to have guys in the hobby who want to purchase him.
Also on this list who I really wanted to give a shout out to is Mike Evans, man. Like, let's not forget that this guy has a Super Bowl. I think he's like a 12-time Pro Bowler. He's going to go down as a Hall of Famer. And if you look at other Hall of Famer wide receivers, they all sell. T.O. sells. Larry Fitz sells. Randy Moss sells. Like, Mike Evans could be the greatest buck of all time. I mean, Mike Allstott's him, but like I think Mike Evans is the greatest Buccaneer of all time.
I don't think Mike Allstott's better than Mike Evans in terms of
I don't
their
think
career.
There's any Buccaneer greater than Mike Evans.
Yeah.
So in terms of a fan base, like Tampa Bay is a pretty decent sized fan base. They're all gonna come back to Mike Evans in 10 years when he's gone. Like, damn, I miss that guy.
All right, so to recap, you got Puka on your squad.
Yes.
You have JSN.
Yes.
And your second pick was
Drake London. I got a 3 wideout set.
So you got Puka, you got Drake London, and you got JSN, all receivers.
Yeah, and let me tell you why. I don't invest in running backs. And running back is just
we know how you feel about Ashton
loss.
Genty, all right?
But you know what? Young running back I love is Amarion Hampton. And it has nothing to do with how good he is. I don't think I've seen him play once or twice in my whole life.
It's all because of a fireworks incident.
Yeah. Well, not only because Najee has no eyes. It's
no eye Najee.
It's because the Chargers are going to run the shit out of the ball. Jim Harbaugh loves to pound the rock. They're going to run 60% of the time. They lost Rashawn Slater, which is tragic because he's elite. But they still have a very good offensive line, and they're going to make Justin Herbert's life easy by running the ball with Marion Hampton. He's the only guy left. He's going to have 20 carries a game, and young legs are important. Like, running backs over the years just get worse. This guy's never really got hit by a 250-pound linebacker yet, but after his second or third season, he'll probably fall off. But until then, he's got fresh legs.
Okay, so my squad is going to be Bijan, lead running back. All right?
Yep.
Plus 2 receivers, right?
Tight end and a receiver.
Oh, excuse me. I went running back, tight end, receiver.
Wow,
nice. Where you went receiver. So I have a mixed squad. I got flex positions. I got everything. You're kind of screwed with your lineup right now.
No quarterback, no running back, all wideouts. That's
so again, I got Bijan, I got Brock Bowers, and then my last pick was McConk. I like the squad. I like the opportunity. I like the Falcons being a potential playoff team. Raiders, not so much. But listen, Pete Carroll, if he snuck in, I'm not really surprised. And again, Jim Harbaugh. So that division is insane, by the way. Think about these 4 coaches in that division. Pete Carroll, Super Bowl. Jim Harbaugh, national championship, been to a Super Bowl. Andy Reid, 3 GOAT. Super Bowls. And then you have Sean Payton, Super Bowl. That is the craziest coach division in football.
Yeah.
Like, not even this year. This could potentially be the greatest division ever. I don't know. I'd have to really look into that. But for all 4 coaches to have won a Super Bowl or a national championship, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Harbaugh even went to a Super Bowl and lost, but Big Red alone is the greatest coach of all time. So, I mean, stacked coaching division. But
all right, one last segment. Sleeper.
Who's
your sleeper? I'll let you go first.
Can I repeat an answer that I've said several times? Because in
previous episodes, yes. In today's episode, no.
Okay, well, my answer is Indiana Jones. It's Daniel Jones. That guy is going to win the Colts job, and it's going to win 11 games.
Thank God you picked him, because that's the worst pick I've ever heard in the history of football.
Well, listen, I said this months ago, and now Anthony Richardson's going to be out for a few games, and Indiana Jones is going to take over there. But that's not my pick. My pick is going to be Justin Fields with the Jets. I think Justin Fields is super athletic, and you know what's really good? Being a quarterback on a bad team who's super fast. He's going to run for 800 yards. If he throws his body around, the Jets fans are going to love him. He has great talent around him. I think Justin Fields cards could go up a lot, and I'm not a huge fan of his passing game, but I like the kid, you know?
I love that for me because I have 2 Justin Fields gold prism cards.
Yeah, I know. I want
All right. So if you're right, I will make money. Unfortunately, you're betting on a New York Jet.
Exactly.
The franchise is a joke. The management is a joke. The decision-making is a joke. And he'll probably have a torn ACL by week 3 because they managed improperly. All right, you want to hear who my sleeper is? And you might not think he's a sleeper because he did have a pretty high price point once upon a time. But I'm going to go with Brock Purdy. He's way down there, right? This guy is not being taken seriously. He had a really off year. The Niners shit the bed last season. But remember, this is a team that was in the Super Bowl 2 of the last 3 seasons prior. So if the Niners put it together and play Niners football again, which, by the way, the Rams, I think the Rams can be good.
Yeah.
Seahawks, no chance. Seahawks are ass. And then you have little Kyler Murray, who can't even step up on a step stool. All right? Like, his legs are so short, he can't reach the kitchen counter. Okay? So all I'm saying is I think that Brock Purdy could lead the Niners to win the division. He's going to get all the credit even if CMC is the workhorse, right, and he's getting all the touches and all the touchdowns, Brock Purdy's still going to get a degree of credit, right, for their record. So I've seen Brock Purdy go from, I wouldn't say he's 50% down, but he's probably like 30 to 40% down, right, from where he was.
Definitely.
So, I mean, all he has to do is kind of get back to what he was doing 2 years ago, and he's immediately up 30%. And if he outperforms that, now we're talking about a guy who could potentially double in price.
Yeah, Big Cock Brock is a talented quarterback, you know?
Guys, this week we are giving away an incredible player. He has won a lot of fantasy matchups for a lot of fantasy football managers. This man is none other than Christian McCaffrey, CMC himself. This is a PSA 10 Tiger Choice Prism. This is out of 2024 Prism, guys, valued somewhere around $400. And we are giving this away. To enter the giveaway, all you have to do, subscribe to our channel, like this video, comment anything you want underneath this video. Comment what you want to see in an episode. If we're not talking about particular card sets or card eras or just players in general that you want to hear about, please let us know. We do this every single week. All you have to do is comment underneath the video to enter. Please, please, please keep entering these videos. It helps our engagement. You are helping us by watching, and we appreciate you for watching up or down. Ethan, what are you buying?
I'm buying a bunch of overpriced stuff as always. Today we're looking at a 2012 National Treasures Kevin Durant logo, man. KD in 10, 20 years will be a cult figure because people forget that he's probably the best offensive player of all time, a top 10 basketball player of all time. Sure, he's a little snake that just goes on and off teams and bandwagons all the time, but, eventually you're going to forget about that. He is such a good basketball player, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Like, you can look at Derrick Rose's market. Never won shit, didn't last long, but, he still sells more than a lot of players do. I looked it up the other day. He sells more than Westbrook, sells more than Harden, and it's better, but didn't last as long as either of them. So I like Kevin Durant's market. He's going to be a guy in a couple years that will have super fans. So this logo man should do, 20, 30, maybe even 40K. What we're buying today is some more affordable cards, something that's new for this program. What we're looking at now is a Dennis.
May I just cut you off and just say that we've been getting some feedback on the show, and guys, we're only 18 episodes in, so we appreciate the grace here, all right? But what we've been hearing is that some of the cards we're talking about are at too high of a price point, and we do need to talk about some cards on this show that are a little bit more affordable. What I find hysterical is that Ethan just said that we're going to talk about some cheap cards and throw a $600 card up on the screen. So anybody who's watching, we are not making you feel poor. That's not what we're trying to do. All right. That is not the goal of the show. We will be talking about cards and opportunity. We're trying to figure out the right price points. If everybody can please, in the comments, maybe you could just tell us a range of card prices you'd like to see. Is it $10 to $50? Is it $50 to $150? We want to know what you guys are buying regularly, and maybe then we can help educate on how to make a couple bucks in a different price range. With that being said, we will move on to a cheap $600 card.
Listen, I'm a total fucking
that
snob.
will probably break four figures, and it's not a $600 card. It's like $1,000 plus card.
Okay, listen, I'm a total snob. It's called what I'm buying. And if it should be called what people should buy.
Do you want this show to be authentic or not, people?
Yeah,
all right?
exactly.
Ethan is actually buying these cards.
I'm not buying base cards. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't go to eBay and buy $10 bargain bin cards, which is a good business.
Again,
and I respect it.
Yes, Ethan, let's not talk down to our audience, but yes.
But, you're paying like $8 in shipping. You buy a $10 card. You already lost half the money. Nevertheless, we're looking at a
PWE. Do you know what that means?
Paper envelope,
plain white envelope.
If you want your cards damaged, that's how you go.
So it's for anybody, and I think they still do this on eBay, but there used to be a lot of eBay listings for very inexpensive cards that would say ship PWE, and that meant plain white envelope. All that means is that when you receive your card, someone's going to put it in a top loader, they're going to put it into a white envelope, and they're going to ship it with the mail. Now, you only do this, obviously, with cards that are not valuable, because anything else has to be shipped in either a bubble mailer or either a box or something that's going to protect the card from, the Ace Ventura style UPS driver who's punting it down the street.
Listen, I want to double bag all my cards. I'm not a one-ply guy.
And turning all your cards from a PSA 10 to a PSA 7.
Yeah, if you don't send me stuff with cardboard and plastic and bubble wrap, then you don't send me a card at all.
Well, there's some of these jabronis, though, who, I don't know if you've got some of these tape jobs where they've taped both sides of the top loaders, and you need a knife to get rid of the tape. And I'm going to damage this card right now by trying to open it because some guy thought he was slick taping this together.
Dude, I once got cards in plastic sandwich bags. I was like, that's pretty low. Back to the cards. Dennis Rodman, Flawless, 2016, dual patch auto PSA 10. Dual patch autos and Flawless are the best cards in Flawless. PSA 10ing of Flawless is nearly impossible. This is going to go less than what a Bulls version of this card would do, so it's still a little more affordable, but just a beautiful card. Dennis Rodman's a beast. I like everything about the card. It's affordable-ish. Maybe not for everyone, but for me,
Guys, again, we promise we will make sure we define affordable in one episode of this show. That's not this episode.
Another non-affordable card. Fernando Tatis nameplate. Sterling, super underrated product. I love bat knobs. I like nameplates. They're super personalized. Kind of really when you see a patch, you're like, what part of the jersey is this from? You know what part of the jersey this bat is from, or part of the bat is from.
This is so cool about baseball. Is you don't get this in football. This is such a cool relic to put into a card. And I don't know if maybe... Listen, I know they put cleats into cards, but it doesn't pop like this.
No.
Look at this. they put this in the card, and it's like a personal etching, and now a fan of Fernando Tatis gets to own this, which I think is awesome for collectors.
Yeah, I mean, I love Sterling. Like I already said, the bat knobs and the nameplates, it's the best part of the whole product, and if you 10 these, you're incredible. So just a good card, it's timeless.
And a 101, I mean, you got to love that.
Next is another affordable card. Kevin Durant, National Treasures logo, man. 2012. KD is a top 10 player of all time, maybe the best scorer of all time.
But I believe you've also called him a snake,
He's a
was it?
slithering little snake bandwagon little P word. And that doesn't matter because in 10 years, people are going to forget. They're going to remember KD as just a dog on the field, And he's not very promotable at the point, but in 10 years when he retires and takes a CNN job, people are going to remember that. I think NT Logo Mans are the best cards of the Panini era, and this card should be a 30, 40K card.
So this is 2 of 3, BGS 8, Auto 10, Pop 1, and a BGS 8. And I would have to agree with you that, listen, when it's all said and done and these guys retire, nobody cares about the minutia anymore. All it's about is how many MVPs did you have and how many championships did you have. And also, like, MVPs, I'm not going to say MVPs don't matter because of course they do, but like Peyton Manning has 5 MVPs. Does he sell well?
Nope.
Sure, I guess. But also, like, I would argue that Peyton Manning should sell second best to Brady or maybe Mahomes and Brady only because Mahomes has way more one-on-ones, right? So, like, on the quarterback scale, I guess Montana, but what Peyton Manning did was pretty incredible too in his career. So when Kevin Durant retires, they're going to remember he won championships with the Warriors. He won MVPs with the Warriors. He won an MVP. Well, he won finals MVPs with the Warriors, and he also won an MVP with another team, the OKC Thunder. So I think Kevin Durant, I would have to agree, is going to stay high for a long time.
And one last thing about this card before we switch, fuzzy logo mans. I hate these plastic logo mans they're coming out with. This is cool. Like the 75th was a cool
threaded
plastic one.
ones, like you could
the
see the
threaded,
stitching.
fuzzy,
yeah.
like they're like chia pets. I love those type of.
Chia pets.
Yeah, the little fluffy ones. Next, we have a 2020 Contenders Cracked Ice Tyrese Maxey and a BGS 10. We talked about the burrow of this card last week. Let's bring it back. Contenders Cracked Ice is like the best set. Like it's not the best, but that product would be nothing if it wasn't for this. These are just the most beautiful cards.
They
like
really
thin
are
paper.
so pretty.
And Tyrese Maxey, bro, I love him right now as a buy. He is down 40% from last year, and it's not his fault because Joel Embiid ruined that team. This year they have Embiid, they have PG, they have Edgecombe. The 76ers are super slept on, and if they are an NBA Finals team, then it's because of Tyrese Maxey.
And this is a true gem? I think it is. It looks like 9.5s across the board. I could be wrong on one of those, but
Yeah, I thought it was a BGS 10, but I looked too quickly. It's a 9.5 true gem.
Yeah.
Correct. Next up, we have a Flawless RPA duel. I've never seen this before. I don't think Flawless has ever done a dual RPA, but when you got two brothers who are both ballers, you got the Amen Asar RPAs. I mean, such a unique card for Flawless. Flawless is not going to be out next year, so this is probably the only dual Flawless RPA. Just a cool card to have.
Have they
right now.
announced that they're just going to discontinue Flawless?
They haven't announced anything. Panini's going to be bullshit, and we'll get to that at the end of the show, though.
Love that for us.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so this is at 57.50 with 20 bids, 4 of 5. What's your cap on this, Ethan?
I think this card ends at like 8,500. I was there when the 101 of this did 40K. So I think 8 to 12 should be the right price, but Asar's a napkin. I don't like that.
This is freaking sick. This looks like a black refractor.
So we have the Jordan Total D in a PSA 10. This is a really cool looking insert, and it's a super low pop, like 30 pop. Jordan inserts are hot right now. I know everyone's floating on Kobe right at this point, but still, Jordan's better than Kobe. There's no argument behind that, and this is a good card.
Dude, PSA 10 with a pop 29 is something I'm super attracted to. Like, the Dunk and Go is a pop 60, right? And also 92. There are not a lot of 1992 cards of Jordan or anybody that are worth a lot of money.
Yeah, and I like how the font of this card kind of suits the era, kind of like a young Nickelodeon, like Total D, like a little on color, off color. It's super unique, and like at 19, I mean, the first case hits were 96. Sorry, were 97, and the first number cards were slightly before that, but this is like For a non-numbered, non-case hit card, it really is a case hit because there's only 29 PSA 10s and low pop all around. It's not that high.
All right, well, we have to cover this on this episode.
Yes.
We were talking off camera about the downfall of Panini. And Ethan, I'm sure you have opinions about what's going on in the hobby and what's going on with Panini, how they're printing or overprinting, what they're doing to particular products. What is your position right now on what Panini is doing in the market?
So I'm going to get into my UNC status, and this reminds me of exactly what Upper Deck did when they were running out of their license. All the LeBron stickers, throw them here, throw them that, throw them this. All the Jordan, throw them there. Just make all the bullshit because this time is coming to an end. We're not going to last very long after the license is pulled. So what Panini is doing, first they're making the stupidest products and just shitting them out. They're all coming out super early. They're all coming out superly, like no quality control. And recently, I was actually kind of excited. Mosaic came out. And Mosaic had contenders. They had Spectra. They had Color Blasts. They had Nebulas. They had Cherry Blossoms. It was a stacked product. They have RPAs in Mosaic now. And it was really good, but it was kind of like Panini just dumping bullshit out. And I'm like, all right, that's interesting. Then they came out with Optic Basketball, and that now has downtowns in it, like Panini 1. So they're just, as you can see, there's panic. We're going to start pushing all the products down one because we don't have much longer. And then Dappz, what's the best product in Panini history?
I mean, obviously, it's NT and Flawless, but
Exactly.
Prism is
Sure. So National Treasures comes out, and everyone's excited. Basketball this year is pretty good. Everyone signs besides maybe Stephon Castle. Football, pretty ass. None of the big four quarterbacks. But they decided to put foil on a NT thick card is so, disgusting. Some have gold foil, some have platinum foil. There's 4 shields in the checklist. It's just disgusting. So I was really excited for NT basketball to come out, but now I'm looking at all these stupid NFL parallels, and it's like, are you going to ruin the best product in history for me? Is it last year we have the license going to be the worst year of the product?
So when it comes to NT, do you like to, over the last, let's say 5 years, do you like to buy into NT breaks, or you just wait for the product to get hit and then you're a buyer and you're, reselling or keeping whatever for your PC? What is your, when you talk about NT basketball specifically, right? That's your favorite product. Do you like to get into breaks, or you like to buy?
Rip Hamilton the other day did a 10-caser FOTL break, and Reed Shepherd was the last team, and I'm a huge Reed Shepherd guy, but he wanted $18,000 for it. He got $13,000 for it, and I was like, well, win some, lose some, and guess what? 3 Reed Shepherd NTs come out. And I am pretty pissed because I could have bought the spot and made 10 grand. And I already offered him profit, but he didn't take it.
Okay, so Panini is ruining products as per Ethan. Will they still have a soccer license or something to sell? I know they recently signed Patrick Mahomes, so that makes me think that they're going to continue to produce product even if it's unlicensed garbage. So the question now becomes, where does Panini go from here? When they lose all the licenses, are they going to get a cool license of somebody and produce some particular product, or do you see them fizzling out over the next 5 years and just going out of business?
This brings me right back to the Upper Deck. Upper Deck lost their license, and they still put out cards. Remember, they had Jordan in the UNC jerseys. They had LeBron in the St. Vincent St. Mary jerseys. But if you comp those cards and you just subtract 2 years from it, they do a fourth of what the actual licensed product does. So they're going to keep coming out with product, and they're just going to fade away slowly, maybe they'll stick with 2 products.
Over under 4.5 years is Panini around?
Under. Upper Deck is still a hockey staple.
Sure.
So I can see Panini being a soccer staple, but that's about it, and that shit's not going to pay the bills.
That shit is not going to pay the bills. You heard it here first, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of Up or Down. I'm your host, Daps. The all-and-powerful Ethan, also known as Johnny Flame, starting on this episode. Remember, guys, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and please enter the giveaway every week. It's free to enter, all right? Make sure you click the Ludex link below. Ludex is an incredible app where you can actually store all of your cards. You can also take pictures of any card and link it right to eBay on a listing in seconds. Absolutely incredible. Please click the Ludex link below. If you want to break with us at Dappz Sports, we're breaking live right now, all day long. We are breaking NBA finest, Topps finest. Panini Don Russ is coming out soon. Please join our breaks. That's going to be Dappz Sports Breaks on TikTok. You can also find us on Dappz Sports Twitch. Thank you so much for watching. Again, like this video, subscribe to Dappz Sports, and comment underneath this video to enter the giveaway.